Episode 39 of Season 5. Today's episode, Queen and Not Heard. Yeah, it's going to be a lot today about the palace lying about where the Queen was. They said she was just hanging out in Windsor, just living her best life, when in fact she was in hospital in London. Classic royal family deception there. And of course, the supine royal correspondents have just kind of explained that away. It's a four-paper show today. We've got The Sun, The Times, The Guardian and The Daily Mail. Bit of a classic pile, really. Had to do The Guardian today for a specific reason, and we will come to that why. But also, yes, Times, Sun and Daily Mail. Right, let us begin with The Sun in a second. Thank you to Dr. Fayed, who subscribed yesterday. Also, thanks to GedStation, who also subscribed this week. And to Mark Canosis, who resubscribed for a 10-month streak, which is really cool. I think that's probably the longest streak of anyone at this point. Yeah, so... let me see. Did I? Oh, hang on. I've not actually put this. Announced the show in the. Best to do that. Right. Put that in the. Whatchamacallit? What's it called? It's called the Discord. The Discord is good. Stream happening at here. Show is live. Boom. All right. So. Let's get started with The Sun. Front page of The Sun is the Queen. Queen spends night in hospital. Her Maj 95 has series of tests. Was this announced by the royal household, by the palace? It was not. They thought they could get away with it not being announced, and instead the Sun story was confirmed by them, but not released by them. Though the Sun says it has an exclusive on this, the Mail was able to get it on its front page as well. Also on the front page of The Sun today, they're off on the road to Cheltenham. The Sun, which regularly publishes stories about the horrors of gambling, now also making quite a lot of its money from gambling. And in the top right-hand corner, a despicable piece of tabloid work, Katie's Retail Therapy, picture exclusive, her day out from rehab. Do we think a woman who is currently in rehab should be having her picture taken? No, not really. C122H122 says 95-year-old woman needs hospital. Yeah, I mean, it's no surprise, but the interesting point here is that the palace deliberately lied about where she was, said she was in Windsor having a rest, but she was in fact all the way in London in hospital there.
And if they're lying about that, what else are they?
What else are they lying about?
For Prince Andrew?
What else are they lying about for Prince Andrew? What's happened to the turtle, says the Research Arena. Research Arena is convinced that the Queen looks like a little turtle. It does a bit. Dan Jones 3142, can't believe the Queen's dead. Next thing you know, Prince Philip will be. Mark Canosis says, I just got here. The Queen is in rehab. On page 3, there isn't page 3, but is page 3, Melissa Barrera, is giving fans a treat. Wearing... I don't know what. Anyway, she's wearing pants. It's a lady wearing pants. That's what it is. Also on page 3, boffins. Dinos love to gossip. Dinosaurs love to gather for a gossip 200 million years ago, researchers have found. No, they fucking haven't. Troubled Katie seen for first time since car ban is the story from The Sun about Katie Price just being outside, walking around. On page 7, Her Majesty's night in hospital. Palace says the Queen remains in good spirits. That's always some worrying when they say that they're in good spirits. I do recall that Prince Philip was in good spirits until he was, dead. Dick Pendrin. Hello, Dick Pendrin. How are you? I come to you from the mighty Kingdom of England. I am yet to be arrested in connection with my Welsh identity. Early days, though. Recursive Rosie says, honk if Lizzie's dead. A GP strike ballot on name and shame plan, as well they should. We are a pro-strike stream. On pages 8 and 9, jabs race to stave off return of restrictions. Injection of urgency is the headline. Oh, fuck off. On page 11, Fury at Strictly Teen Jive. Tilly DJ is facing F word. That's F for fired. Radio DJ Steve Allen's own LBC colleagues want him sacked for fat shaming Strictly Come Dancing's Tilly Ramsey. Yeah, these colleagues don't actually want to come out and say it themselves, though. They're just sort of, whispering it to the Sun. England is powered solely by the energy of the divorce, says Dan Jones. Yep. 2-year murder plot of Amos stab victim. Security Services claiming this. Howard Cox, don't be a drip rishi. We need a fuel tax cut, says the founder of Fair Fuel UK. I guess another astroturfing group. On page 13, Green Sage kicks Jack. Footy wag Sasha Atwood is smoking hot in more ways than one as she reveals she and her fella Jack Grealish burn sage to banish bad energy, really. Also on that page, Kate gets a Piers of the Action. Kate Garraway is going to replace Piers Morgan as the host of the Execrable Life Stories.
You're not supposed to burn sage anymore. It's culture.
Is it?
Yes. There's been several articles I've read recently on it.
Whose culture is it appropriating?
Native American.
Oh, okay.
Indigenous peoples.
On pages 16 and 17, Posh's confession on old looks, but her kids love him. If I still dressed like this, I would be locked up by the fashion police, she says. Yeah, well, that's the same with most people's outfits from the 90s. Mark Kenosis, I reckon I can guess Fairfield UK's registered address. Yes. Does it rhyme with Bofton beat? Cancer Battle Bill's pulled out of show. Presenter Bill Turnbull is stepping back from his classic FM show for health reasons. Can we please, for the love of fuck, stop saying Cancer Battle? On page 19, Killjoys ban Yard of Ale. Charity Beer Fest promotes binge drinking. Is what someone put. Yeah, I know. I thought we got that back. Competition to see who can down beer the quickest raises funds for the Royal National Lifeboat Institution, but the charity is concerned it could send the wrong message. I'm sure they haven't banned it. Shut the fuck up. Bake Off judge Prue Leith could not use the phrase worth the calories eating disorder should not use the phrase worth the calories eating disorder sufferers say. They claim the description gives the impression food can be good and bad and can trigger conditions. Yes, that is true. That is, fuck off. Like, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, it's a fucking TV program about baking.
Yeah. Eating this much can stop weight gain, says the Sun on the very next page. Greg's Bake fans have meltdown. Furious punters say Greg's is banger out of order for replacing its sausage, bean and cheese melts with a vegan alternative. The bakery chain's phase snack has been off the shelves for weeks due to the lorry driver shortage. Yeah, so they're not really replacing it. It's just that the vegan ones are available at the moment, while the non-vegan ones aren't. It's not a fucking... And anyone who's furious about the availability of baked bean, cheese, sausage melts at Greg's is a fucking melt.
Yeah, but to be fair, if they come to the cheese pasties, I'll fucking...
C122, H122 says person who wrote that is a melt. Agreed. Singer will take new man to London childhood haunts. The headline, that's a del of a trip for Rich. Oh, God. On page 25, For Your Eyes Only, RAF rugger star in dog pic document gaff. England rugby star Amy Cochrane got a yellow card from RAF chiefs for sharing a selfie that revealed a sensitive military document. The Harlequins hooker is part of the Ministry of Defence Elite Athletes programme and spends most of her time in rugger kit. But she still attends a handful of sessions with the Royal Air Force Police, where she is on payroll as a flying officer. She posed with a puppy in full RAF uniform without notifying the classified papers about threats to the base were pinned on a notice board behind her. You don't pin classified stuff on a notice board. Fuck off. There's stuff on the notice board. I doubt it's classified.
Oh no, it's the invasion plans.
On page 26 and page 27, storm brings snow chaos, flooding and tragedy. Shock and Aurora. Storm Aurora caused mayhem yesterday, bringing snow, torrential rain and tornadoes. That's in East Sussex, Scotland, Surrey and South East London. Game of Thrones star Diana Rigg, no, fuck off, she's Avengers star Diana Rigg, left £5,000 to the boss of her favourite nail bar in her £3.25 million will. Well, good on her, lovely. Dick Pendren, I remember a quote in The Sun once about someone who'd split up from their partner and attended a film premiere. You could tell her heart was breaking, a passerby said. No, they didn't. Of course they fucking didn't. Teen boy 14 charged with Logan murder. Horrendous. Pro boxer kills bear with knife. A boxer is in a critical condition after fighting off and knifing to death a bear. This is pro fighter Ilya Medvedev, who was on a fishing trip when he and Vyacheslava Dugnik were attacked. The older man was mauled to death on the Irtych River in East Russia, but after Medvedev shot the beast twice, it knocked the gun away. Cartridge was jammed in his gun, and the injured brown bear attacked. I don't know. We are a pro-bear stream here, and I'm anti-bear death. Yeah. As Nicole Kidman plays kooky comedy... Fuck, I hate the word kooky. Kooky comedy legend Ball in new show. Affairs, booze, hookers and cruelty behind perfect marriage of TV's Lucille. They're just on Wikipedia again. Thank you for redeeming Hydrate, Heathmore. Much appreciated. Mark Kenosis will be classified, but not to any significant level. Yeah, exactly. That's my point. It's stupid.
Classified lunch menu.
No fly-by nights. Airspace ban for I'm a Celeb Castle. When I'm a Celebrity was filmed in the jungle, no campmates came into contact with outsiders. But now the show has moved from Australia to Gwerich Castle in North Wales. ITV are having to ensure contestants are cut off from the outside world. They've slapped a no-fly zone over the site. I'm not sure that ITV producers are able to impose no-fly zones. I suspect this story is bullshit. Did the bear have a knife too? If not, that's not on, says Mark Kenosis. Dick Pendren, internet now means tabloid scummers can source the hilarious. It was only a foreigner who died. And finally, stories from anywhere in the world. Turn it off. Aha, Welsh film, writers cancelled. I don't know how to pronounce that. Tell me how to pronounce it. I'm not on a mate. I'm not very good at pronouncing Welsh names. Sorry. Handmade, Britain's Best Woodworker is the reviewed show today. Tonight at 9 p.m. on BBC 4, Zappa, 9 p.m. Documentary about Frank Zappa, directed by the excellent Alex Winter, who was in Bill and Ted. You're right. Who was in Bill and Ted? I've interviewed him before. He's nice. Mark Kenosis, by impose a no-fly zone, do they mean ask local air traffic types to avoid the space out of courtesy? That's the one. Hey, SK, how you doing? Enjoyed what I was able to watch of the stream yesterday. Mark Kenosis, hate Zappa, C122, H122, love Zappa. It's, views differ, it seems.
Controversy.
Graham Norton's show is on at BBC One tonight. And on Channel 5, 1970, Britain's Biggest Hits. Yes. In Dear Deirdre, son spread lies that I was drunk at a wedding. Bin him. Wife plays away on her gym trips. Bin her. Husband leers at younger women.
Bin him.
I'm fed up with her alcohol problem. Get her help. Fear for Kids as ex moves new guy in.
To bin everyone.
Yes. Bin them all. Give badly fitting knee-high boots the boot, says Fab Daily. Whatever. Why you should dress like royalty? No, fuck off. £50 letter today comes from Amy Yardley of Burwell. The Queen is amazing to keep going with all her public duties at the age of 95. If she is feeling under the weather, it's sensible to cancel. My mother is the same age and incredibly agile. She works in a charity shop, but if she had a cold or a cough, she'd stay at home in the warmth and comfort of her home. You cannot blame the Queen for doing the same. I don't think anyone does. Dick Pendren is ambivalent about Zappa. Panic Future says, bin the human race. Slinkermeyer, because of this bit, I've now started yelling Binham at movie characters. Fantastic. Duran are the big interview in the Something for the Weekend section. They've got a new album out called Future Past, and of course The Sun reviews that well because they agreed to be interviewed. June gets 4 stars. I want to go see that. And in the sport, Mick sick of stick. Arteta abuse like Bruce Scott is driving bosses out of football. and his prints are all over Toon. Saudi Arabia's finance minister has blown a huge hole in claims that Newcastle's new owners are independent of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. I nearly said Mohammed Bin Salman, which is entirely different. Premier League chiefs authorised the £300 million takeover by Saudi's public investment fund after receiving assurances the government would not control the club. But that argument appeared to be invalidated by Mohammed Al Jadaan, a close ally of MBS and the kingdom's chief financial officer. In an interview with CNBC, he initially insisted this is a PIF investment, but when asked about, turn to page 54, when asked about, why did you do that? The decision by the Premier clubs to draft new rules to temporarily prevent Toon from agreeing sponsorship deals with Saudi companies for above market value, Al Jadaan seemed to admit a closer link. Of course he did. C122 H122 does not believe the Queen deserves a sick day. Mark Canosis' Captain Beefheart was better, and Wild Fisher was better than both of them. Talking about Zappa. Mark Canosis says Frank Zappa was the Trotsky of music, never got the ice pick he deserved. Oh, Jesus. Holy shit, the Queen died. When did that happen, says Red Tick Seed. I don't think that's actually happened yet. Bit early, Red Tick Seed. Did they ever arrest the Stranglers for the ice pick thing, says Dick Pendrin? No, they got away with that. Did anyone actually believe the Saudi government wouldn't be involved? Only people who deserve to be ignorant. Did Diana die? Sadly to say, yes, Princess Diana is dead. King 92, Mohammed bin Him Salman. Yeah. Right, okay, fine, good. Now we're going to move on to the Guardian. Quick run through the Guardian. Dan Jones 3142. I'm hearing the Queen has died. Panic Future knows she's immortal. Holy shit, Princess Diana has died. What we need, because news keeps breaking during the stream. If the Queen actually dies, I need like some sort of special thing here where we can identify that message.
I could stand behind you with a sign.
Yeah, where we can identify that, and it's not just you guys just saying the Queen is dead for jokes. Don't write the Queen is dead on a sign.
I'm not writing the Queen is dead on a sign.
Okay, right. Dead Queen klaxon. Yeah, exactly. That's what we need. Some sort of special klaxon. Because, you know, clearly it's going to end up having to happening in the middle of a show. Can we get Farage to say something stupid for €87? Yeah, probably. Queen not dead. Currently Queen not dead. Queen dead? No, Queen not dead. Good. If she actually dies while Mick is live, I'd like to say I called it yesterday, says King United 2. Alright, here we go. Front page of The Guardian. Shall I speed run The Guardian today, or shall I do it at normal speed? Let's speed run it. Gonna do The Guardian in 1 minute 35 seconds. Why 1 minute 35? Whatever. Boom, off we go. Right, he's still standing. Elton John on the Traumas and Top Tunes. Rita Tushingham says, imagine thinking, ooh, I'm an icon. Laura Koonsberg might step down from her BBC role and do something else. Probably go and be on the Today programme. Today's newsletter will be about that. That's going to be out this evening because I had to write other stuff that needed to be filed today. Also on the front page, COVID booster jab may be brought forward. MP's death man. 25 charged with murder. Okay, 1 minute 10 to go. 1492 and all that. Vikings settled in the Americas 471 years earlier, apparently. London has more statues of animals than named women. Horrendous. GPs threaten industrial action over minister's plan. Good on them. Pubs, restaurants and hotels fear return of restrictions. Leicester remains cautious after longest lockdown. Schools told not to teach as fact contested theories such as white privilege. Oh, fuck off. Man accused of murdering a Tory MP and preparing acts of terrorism. Campus bars unveil safety measures to tackle spiking. Criminal court backlog likely to last years, Watchdog says. Camelot shifter app games dilutes cash for good causes. Scientists find ivory poaching leads to evolution of tuskless elephants. Workers of the world unite on stage for epic 12-hour performance. In the opinion section, Andy Beckett says Tories are conducting a deadly social experiment. Gabby Hinsliff says young women are sick of being told to guard their drinks. As well they should be. Numbers don't lie. COVID's still a threat. Elton John on the front of the G2. It's so hard to turn the pages on this. Build scandal. Tables turned on Germany's top tabloid. And in the sport, sprint for the exit. UK athletics left in turmoil as top 2 executives walk out. We did know the Viking thing, but now they've pinned it down to an exact year, which is very cool, as Mark Kenosis says. Anyway, that was The Guardian. Whatever. It was fine. It was as Guardian-y as usual. Right. Going to move on to the Times in a second. It's white privilege to be able to decide not to acknowledge white privilege. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. I'm going to do the roll call and then I'm going to spin through the Times. Today's roll call. In the chat today, I am the Broken Bottle Boy, Mick Wright. You can follow me on Twitter at Broken Bottle Boy. Why not? I'd love it. Also in the chat, in the mod squad today, SK the Crusader, who did an excellent stream on Paul Mason's terrible book yesterday with Arjan. So hopefully that's up on VOD because I was only able to watch a bit of it. Also in the chat today, another TT viewer, Aiton, C122, H122, Chris McRae, Crawfish, Dan Jones, 3142, Dick Pendrin, Dr. Fayad, Ehud Barak, Heathmore 2401, Kinyu 92, Lily Red Wolf, Laurie Pub, Lurks, Mark Kenosis, Panic Future, Rachiology, Recursive Rosie, Red Tick Seed, Rimastino, Slinkermeyer, Spike Trap Claire, The Research Arena, The Royal Flush, and V&K. Also in the room, person in the room, who's updated our Queen Not Dead sign. Queen's still not dead. Red Tick Seed, it was not the Horny Mason book. It was the Stop Fascism. Dick Pendrin, enjoys having name read out by me. Well, it's good. Kinyu 92, Groyan say anything about the LGB conference shit show? Would have thought all their columnists would want to be able to claim it as expenses. Haven't seen that, no. Didn't think so, no. Alright, here we go. Front page of The Times. The Times, the real genius behind Succession. It's me. It's not. It's Jesse Armstrong. On the right-hand side, the Italian property hotspot Brits love. Brits... rich people love. A booster dose of Pfizer vaccine offers near total protection, which is good news. Booster dose, done that, sorry. Right-hand side, now global heating is the hot topic in the dictionary. They've added that to the Oxford English Dictionary. Amos murder suspect targeted 2 other MPs. That's the claim of the prosecution and possibly a claim coming in from security services. Bridget Christie was vocally anti-transphobe in a Guardian interview, made me smile. Bridget Christie is a good one. MPs to offer guards from today at constituency surgeries. Puppy love. Dogs help men get dates. Cats just don't cut it for women dreaming of a long-term relationship, is what the research says. There's a picture with the dog. Koonsberg wants moved to Radio 4 is the claim. Reported, this is just the Times jumping on the Guardian's reporting on this. Bridget Christie talking about the trans thing. It's the same joke over and over again, she says. Or some joke about toilets. Just let people go to the fucking toilet. Fair enough. Pages 6 and 7. There is no need for COVID plan before Christmas ministers exist. Christmas is fucked, isn't it? It's just fucked. I just suspect it's going to be fucked. Oh, for fucking hell, the it's small on the internet. Because the encoding's gone to shit. Yeah, sorry, it was working fine. Herd immunity finishing line is a blur in the distance. Bag searches at university night spots to catch spikers. Ida the robot wins her freedom. Again, Nazanin Zaghari Ratcliffe still hasn't got hers. Dinosaur Find shows they were Society of Softies again. PM intervenes in trans debate with praise for charity. Boris Johnson has praised the LGB Alliance. Of course he has. Ex-GB News chief runs for top BBC post. GB News programming chief, who quit over the channel's apparent embrace of culture wars, has emerged as a contender to be the next director of BBC News. John McAndrew, the former director of news and programmes for GB News, interested in replacing Fran Unsworth, the BBC's director of news and current affairs. The Eye newspaper has reported McAndrew resigned from GB News in July after Gutter Harry, a presenter, took the knee live on air, to the consternation of some viewers. He was a former BBC employee, worked as the editor of Daily Politics, amongst other things, and also a Sky employee before that. Pigeon for Christmas, and not the fancy kind, says Mark Canosis. Yeah, Boris Johnson should be fed into a wood chipper in GTA, says C122H122. WizKid, who made £30 million at 17, hit $30 million, at 17, hits the jackpot again. Nick Alonso sold his app to Yahoo for $30 million at the age of 17. Now he's managed to sell his second business to Twitter at the age of 25. The British entrepreneur announced that Twitter has acquired Sphere, a group chat app that Alonso co-founded with his university friend Thomas Halgas in 2016. Brilliant, because he definitely needed more money. Research Arena says, good thing Hanukkah is a month earlier than Christmas this year. Mark Gnosis, bag searches. They think people are bringing in big Wile E. Coyote Acme bottles of drugs. Yeah. And also, it'll be like that gif of the guy, you know, who doesn't even touch them searches. Under 30s tricked into being money mules may face jail. Young people duped into letting fraudsters transfer cash through their accounts being convicted as money launderers after banks called for harsh penalties. Funny, the banks don't call for same harsh penalties for instance, the massive banks themselves that have been shown to be institutionally involved in that. Did Deloncio have a rich father? His student at King's College School in Wimbledon at the time, he had to ask teachers the year before the Yahoo sale to delay his mock GCSE exams so he could travel to California to seek investors. He ensured funding for more than $1 million, picking up backers such as Li Ka-shing, one of the world's richest men, Brian Chesky, co-founder of Airbnb, and Ashton Kutcher and Stephen Fry. Yeah. Mother and boy charged with murder, horrendous. Health worries take Turnbull off the air. Osborne's successor leaves Standard after 15 months. Yeah, Emily Sheffield, sister-in-law of David Cameron, who replaced David Cameron's close friend George Osborne as editor of the Evening Standard, has left after 15 months. James Forsyth says Tories are tied in knots over free speech. I mean, whatever. Just notice that some things are running that shouldn't be running, so I'm just going to see if that's getting in the way of the encoding. Didn't HSBC launder money for various drug cartels? They did indeed. Emma Duncan says Johnson's green jobs won't make Britain rich. Yeah, but is that the point of it? I mean, his ideas are shit, but that's not the reason why they're shit. Anne Treneman says, is anywhere nicer than Venice for a wedding? Yes, many places. Gerard Baker, Netflix is woke, but it cares more about profit. Streaming giant condemns transphobia, yet it's standing by comic Dave Chappelle, whom its own staff want cancelled. Oh, fuck off. It's a very idiotic way of talking about it. Dan Jones, 3142. Can we all agree that the banter timeline indicates that the Queen has to die on Remembrance Sunday? Oh, Lord. Put down the lathe, as Kin92 says. Today's birthday is Colonel John Blashford Snell, explorer who founded Operation Raleigh and the Scientific Exploration Society, is 85. Professor Tim Blackman, Vice Chancellor of the Open University, 65. Saffron Burrows, the actress, is 49. Professor David Carpani, painter and etcher, is 75. Do you want to see my etchings? George Cohen, footballer for England until 1967. Member of the 1966 World Cup winning team, is 82. Ian Cohn, the chief executive of the energy and services company Centrica until 2020, is 59. Professor Sir Peter Cook, the architect, the Graz Museum in Austria, is 85. Catherine Deneuve, the actress, is 78. Jeff Goldblum, the actor, is 69. Peter Hollins, chairman of the University Hospital Southampton NHS Foundation Trust, Chief Executive of the British Heart Foundation until 2013, 74. Sarah Houghton, the UK High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, is 47. Sir Derek Jacobi is 83. Spike Jones, the Director, is 52. Baroness Una King of Bow is 54. Matthew Lawson, the UK Ambassador to Tajikistan, is 46. Christopher Lloyd, the actor, is 83. Kelvin Mackenzie, the royal, total, absolute 100% piece of shit and former editor of The Sun, is 75. Sir Donald McIntyre, the opera singer, is 87. Bobby Seale, civil rights activist, co-founder of the Black Panther Party, is 85. Happy birthday to him. Sir Michael Stout, racehorse trainer, 10-time champion trainer, is 76. Lord John Thomas, Lord Chief Justice of England and Wales, until 2017, and a euphemism for a penis, is 74. Julian Traeger, the chief executive of the Anglo-Pacific Group, is 59. Arsene Wenger, football manager for Arsenal until 2018, now FIFA's chief of global football development, is 72. And Deontay Wilder, the boxer and WBC heavyweight title holder until 2020, is 36. On this day, 1962, President Kennedy announced that the US was placing Cuba under naval blockade until the Soviet Union agreed to dismantle ballistic missile sites on the island. Last word today goes to Thomas Nash, the poet and satirist in Christ's Tears over Jerusalem, 1593. The sun shineth as well on the good as the bad. God from on high beholdeth all of the workers of iniquity, as well as the upright of heart. Happy birthday to Bobby Seale, says Mark Canosis. Catherine Deneuve, happy birthday to her. Donegal is better than Venice. Fight me. I agree. In the corrections and clarifications, an obituary of Gerda Meyer mistakenly carried a picture of Martha Sharp. We apologise for the error. In an editing... Oh, this is an incredible one because this is fully fucking racist, right? Rendland thought, no, I don't... I don't block raids. Raids should be allowed. No idea why that shouldn't happen. Sorry about that. And thank you for subscribing, much appreciated, resubscribing. In editing, this is fully a racist mistake. In editing a letter, October 21st, former Archbishop of York, rather than Cape Town, was added to describe Desmond Tutu. We apologise for the error. Yes, they confused Archbishop John Sentamu with Archbishop Desmond Tutu. Moving on, Trump plots social media return with own platform. It's already falling apart. Netflix staff walk out over Star Comics trans jokes. Editor fired for exposing Zemmour's amour. Paris Match announced a change of editor yesterday amid a row over compromising photos of Eric Zemmour, the far-right pundit who's expected to run for the presidency. Hervé Gattingo lost his job a month after plastering on the magazine's front cover a photograph of Zemmour, 63, embracing Sarah Nafo, his 28-year-old assistant on the French Riviera. Scoop angered Zemmour, who announced that he was taking legal action for breach of privacy, but it did nothing to stop his rise to the forefront of the French far right. Macron MP is mugged by Rolex robbers. Journalists accuse Ukraine president of purge on critics. $1 million reward for girl taken from tent. Australian police have offered a reward of more than £500,000 to find a 4-year-old girl who disappeared from her sleeping family's tent at a remote campsite. That's Cleo Smith. On the front page of the Times 2 Arts, the true CEO of Succession, Jesse Armstrong, the show's creator, talks to Andrew Billen. Lol, a French person being inappropriate. What a shock. Imagine that. Satnam, says SK Crusader. Satnam Sangera says, a change of name doesn't erase slavery, but it will make us think about it a bit harder. Yeah, okay. Grubhub sale is not on the table, insists Just Eat Boss. Investors run for cover as storms hammer insurer. That insurer is Lancashire Holdings. In the obit today, Sir John Charlie, aeronautical engineer and chief scientist to the RAF, whose work enabled smooth landings in poor weather. Norm Macdonald, Jesus Christ, Norm Macdonald died in September, and they're just getting around to giving an obituary. Self-sabotaging Canadian stand-up comedian known for his Quirky. Fuck off, he was not quirky. Rambling and often contrarian brand of humour. He died of cancer September 14th. And Jack Tordoff, Yorkshire businessman who made a fortune in the motor trade but was haunted by the Bradford City Stadium fire. He was 86. I'm not saying the parents did it, Mark Gnosis. Me neither. I'm not saying that. What? And in the sport... UK athletics in turmoil. Under fire, chief executive steps down along with head of performance. Bit humid, dip balls in water. What a headline. England will practice with balls soaked in buckets of water to prepare for the effects of high humidity in dew at the 2012 T20 World Cup in the United Arab Emirates. I would simply stop holding tournaments in climates which do not suit the sport. Panic future, not all archbishops look the same. Exactly that. Give me your scores for the Times. We're going to move on to the Daily Mail. Right-wing social media doesn't work because they need lefties to kick. Yeah, that's right. C122, H122. Also, it doesn't work because the actual tech behind what he's made is complete shit. Slinkmeyer rates the Times a quadruple negative nice. C122, H122. I also like Norm, yeah. Mark noticed it was a remote campsite. It was either the parents or a dingo, or the parents in cahoots with a dingo. C122, H122. Playing cricket in UEA is like playing it underwater. Kin United 2. Hang on, trouble playing cricket in hot, humid climates. Has anyone told the nation of India? Well, yes, true. Daily Mail, front page of the Daily Mail. Doctors' Union threatens industrial action. GPs kick in the face-to-face. Yes, the Daily Mail is once again attacking GPs. Main story, Palace revealed she was taken in for tests on the day. Historic Ulster visit was dramatically axed. Queen spends night in hospital. There she is, as the research arena says, looking like a turtle. On page 3, is Fleabag's hot priest defrocked? He strips off for Ripley drama. Literally just a picture of Andrew Scott wearing some little pants. You've not seen that, have you? I feel like you would appreciate it.
I only appreciate him as Moriarty. I mean...
Spain's king got female hormone to control his rampant sex urges. This is claimed by a completely suspicious source, frankly. Is BBC's Laura about to step down? They find a picture of her in a frock for that. Amos suspect plotted to kill an MP for 2 years. Again, that's claimed from the security services. Paris withdraws magazine over cartoon about politician murder. A Paris magazine is facing a backlash for publishing a cartoon in which a woman and a priest joke about murdering an MP. Yeah, well, this was put out before the killing, 2 months before the killing of Essex MP David Amos. Get a fucking grip. Cahoots the Dingo, the Aldi knockoff of Crash Bandicoot. I'd play it. Rendell thought, I hope I look like a turtle at 1,000 years old too. £9 million people set for early booster jab. Kate Garraway said thanks to Prince Charles for the support or whatever. On page 9, after Mail campaign forces face-to-face appointments, kicking the teeth of patients as doctors threaten industrial action. There is no... Of course the Daily Mail hates industrial action. It hates the entire concept of workers having rights. Chronotherm, who will the BBC replace Laura with? Take someone special to be that dumb that often. I will be writing about who they may potentially replace her with in the newsletter tonight. So do sign up to the newsletter if you haven't already. That will be coming out, I don't know, probably around 7 o'clock this evening. Possibly earlier, but who knows. BrokenBottleBoy.substack.com. Poldark stars new costume drama as lorry full of outfits plunges into the harbour. Poldark's Eleanor Tomlinson has a new role as a fashionable socialite in an upcoming TV comedy, The Outlaws, but a number of her characters' glamorous costumes were feared destroyed yesterday when a truck used by the show dramatically plunged into the harbour. We already covered that on the show, didn't we? It is not Dan Hodges. Drug needle terror, now women hit back. Again, if you've not read it, do check out the newsletter link. Yesterday's newsletter was about this whole drug spiking panic, right? It is 100% true that there is a lot of spiking that goes on in clubs, right? But the notion that this is that is needle spiking is there's not very much evidence there. James O'Brien for the head for political editing. That's not going to happen. Neither is Dan Hodges, thankfully. Energy firms bid to put hundreds more on bills. New strictly COVID crisis. Ministers, schools must not teach children that white privilege is a fact. This coming from Nadeem Zahawi, former YouGov boss turned Tory minister. As Slinker Meyer said, saying white privilege doesn't exist is in itself white privilege. Don't panic. He's the expert who got every COVID prediction right. Now read his peerless analysis of new infection fright and why there's nothing to fear. Apparently this is Phil Thomas, visiting academic professor at University of Bristol. I'm not quite sure that he got everything right. How dogs tell the time, why buses come in threes, how bubble wrap was meant to be wallpaper, and other amazing facts in a mind-blowing new book from the QI Quiz Boffins. Classic tabloid word there, boffins. Little John is a piece of shit. Of course, he's angry about net zero. Hero 61 drowned saving grandsons. That was a story in the paper yesterday. Very sad. Why an assisted death's almost certainly not what you think it is. Blooper hero. Police rush to hanged man only to find 9-foot Iron Man. Police called to report of a hanged man in a window were surprised to find him safe, but not alive. The victim was a 9-foot model of Iron Man, as played by Robert Downey Jr. The £14,000 custom-built metal figure stands in the window of its owner's flat in Manchester, plugged into the wall so his eyes, chest, and hands light up. Startled owner, who was in bed at the time, was able to assure them that all was well. Some of the emergency response team then took selfies with the model. Family night at the movies for newly single Sadie and her cast of 4. She recently split from her boyfriend, apparently. Who cares? Why is Sadie Frost still in the papers? Hello, boys. From piles of naked guests on deck to the diva demands of the super rich. As the new series of Below Deck starts, ex-crew reveal the outrageous truth about their high life on the high seas. Working on those ships is cursed. The lava louts. Britons who dodged military to take selfies near erupting volcano face prosecution. Boy of 14 in court over 5-year-old's murder. Horrendous. Jan Noir is awful as usual. She's obsessing over Meghan Markle. Right, October 22nd, 2021. On this day in 1970. Cigarette smoking is killing 100,000 people a year in Britain. Statistics released by the government today show an estimated increase of 25,000 deaths blamed on the habit. On this day in October 22nd, 1987, the amazing sex life of the late President John F. Kennedy is to be revealed in a new book. Author David Heyman says he has built up a detailed picture of Kennedy's philandering by checking dates, times and names recorded in the notebooks of Secret Service agents who guarded him. Kennedy's lovers are said to have included Marilyn Monroe and the mafia mole Judith Exner. Happy birthday to Catherine Deneuve, who was 78, and to Jeff Goldblum, who was nice, 69. Also born on this day in 1923, died 2013, Bert Trautmann. The German-born Manchester City footballer went from Luftwaffe paratrooper and prisoner of war to one of the most acclaimed British goalkeepers of his generation. He played the last 17 minutes of Man City's FA Cup final win in 1956 with a broken neck sustained after colliding with another player. In 2004, he was made an OBE for his Anglo-German reconciliation work. Sarah Bernhardt was born on this day in 1844 and died 1923. French star, wore a dead bat as an accessory and went on tour with her own coffin. Bernhardt, whose lovers included Les Miserables author Victor Hugo, and Edward, Prince of Wales, was described as childishly egotistical by the famously not egotistical George Bernard Shaw. On October 22nd in 1930, the BBC relayed the first broadcast performance of the BBC Symphony Orchestra from the Queen's Hall, London. In 1972, England goalkeeper Gordon Banks lost the sight in his right eye in a car crash and never played for his country again. Quote of the day comes from Abraham Lincoln, US President from 1809 to 1865. I claim not to have controlled events, but confess plainly that events have controlled me. Sorry, he wasn't president for that time. That was how long he was alive. Joke of the day. What did one rock say to the other? Show us your muscles. We all knew JFK was a philandering fuck. Yeah, exactly. War of the Rings, ex-wife and widow of Tolkien movies voice coach in battle over £100,000 insurance payout. Tycoon Yacht stars as Dodie's Love Boat. The Phones For You founder John Caldwell reveals his £64 million super yacht will star in the new series of The Crown. Fuck off. Rolling Stones fans were shocked when the band announced last week that they were dropping their hit Brown Sugar from their world tour. Now I can disclose extraordinary details of how an organised group of woke activists systematically targeted hundreds of thousands of devotees around the world by infiltrating their online fan club. Oh, fuck off. Manchester City's Operation Paperclip. Are you legally entitled to live in the UK, fellow rock? Yeah. Celebrity bling that's truly gobsmacking. Angelina Jolie and her metal chin cuff. Stars are putting their money where their mouth is. Oh, who gives a shit? There's a new film about Brian Epstein coming out. They like the Dune film. Elton John's new album gets 4 stars. Of course it does. There's a book of the week is Unmasking Our Leaders by Michael Cockrell. How is that book of the week? Like I have that book. That book came out weeks ago. It's quite a good book. 2 weeks of a band not singing one song. Imagine, yeah, can you imagine? In the TV reviews, Handmaid's Britain's Best Woodworker gets 3 stars. All Creatures Go in Small 4 stars. In the cartoons, Garfield is watching TV. Chloe is having a drink with a man. And in Fred Bassett had his dinner, but he didn't really enjoy it that much. Poor Fred. You'll be happy to know there is no poem today. That is right, there is no poem. Today's straight to the point letters. Mrs. R. O'Grady says, forget £2 million to rebrand the BBC logo. I'd rather have a free TV licence. David Grace says, will Emma Raducanu will all her indoor tournaments? June Highgate says, I'd buy a heat pump as soon as China reduces its emissions. And Colin Steele says, if it's racist for football fans to wear tea towels on their heads, will school nativity plays be cancelled? Colin, it's called context, mate. You prick. Lee Spanner redeemed posture check. Thank you, Lee Spanner. Brown Shoe's not really up for debate, is it? I mean, look at those lyrics. Dick Penrose put lyrics on the thing. No, it's clearly not. And the notion that brown sugar is some sort of critique of slavery is farcical. Right, moving on, today's recipe, smoky black bean chili. I mean, black bean chili sounds delicious. Their picture of it looks like dog mess. They're trying to get you to go on cruises. They're trying to get you to get retirement homes. They're trying to get you to buy curtains. And in the sport, they are saying, happy hammers, West Ham triumph again in Europe, but Spurs flop. Nedum Anua's a new role at Man City. Trevor Bayliss, exclusive. Morgan's up there with the greatest captains. And stop the abuse. Arteta says personal attacks are putting managers off the job. That is the Daily Mail. For me, it's a quadruple negative nice. Thank you for joining me today on this Friday show. It's been really good to see you. No coins today. No coins in any of the papers. A happy day for Person in the Room as there are no coins. Right, do sign up for the newsletter. If you do, you'll get today's edition later today. Also, if you like this show and don't want to subscribe on Twitch, but want to throw some coins into the paper fund to help me keep this going, do that. PayPal.me/Conquest of the Useless. Slinkermeyer says, quadruple negative nice for the Daily Mail. Dick Pendleton says the nice trillion minus the nice $1 trillion coin. What's up with people getting up in arms about the BBC logo? Nothing. It's stupid, isn't it? Thank you, Kin92. Much appreciated, and appreciate you joining us today. Lee Spainer, thank you very much for following the channel. Much appreciated. I will see you on Monday at 1 PM for another exciting edition of this show. 4 more papers to do. There'll be a magazine special next week. I've got a really horrendous magazine for it. It's like a Christian version of Loaded. But in the meantime, if you're watching the show on YouTube, please like, describe, Please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you, Lee. Much appreciated. See you all next week. Bye-bye.